Hello guys, welcome back to my channel again. So we've started learning about OOPS in Python. In the previous video we talked about the introduction of what is class and objects in Python. So a short recap, if we are talking about fruits, right? So fruit is the class and objects can be apple, banana, mango, right? So an object is nothing but an instance of class, so it's like a blueprint. So we'll talk about it in more detail right now in this particular session. So before we go ahead, if you're liking what I'm explaining, you know give me a thumbs up, a like, share, comment, let me know how things are going on, right? So let's say we are building a game or an app, so we need multiple things, right, that look similar but behave independently, right? So instead of writing the same code again and again, Python gives us a smarter way, right, which is classes and objects. So we'll break it down in the most simple way, right? So think of class as in blueprint, an object is something built using that particular blueprint, right? So we've talked about the car example, right? So class is a car design and object is an actual car you drive. So you can create as many cars from one design, right? So that's the same idea in Python we use. So we'll talk about a common example, like of a dog. So because it's easily relatable and simple. So each dog will have a name, it will have an age, and each dog can bark. So step one is to create a class, right? What we are going to do is, like, let's say create a class, right? So I'm going to create a class called dog. Now I'm going to do something like init. I am going to explain to you what I am writing or what this particular code is doing, right? So don't worry on that. Self dot name is equal to name, self dot age is equal to age, right? Now let's create another, and what we are doing here is just printing it, right? Self dot name, and let's say says oof, something like that, like keeping it easy, right? Yeah. So what we're doing right now, step one, we have created a class dog. This is what we are defining the blueprint, right? Init is nothing but special method. It runs generally when we create an object, and this self parameter, it refers to the current object, right? And we have name and age again, which are the properties or the dog class. Now step 2, what we're going to do is we're going to create object, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to create dog1 is equal to dog, and just gonna give it name body comma 3. Dog2 is the second one, and going to give it max comma, let's say 5. So let me explain what we did here. So we created two objects here, dog1 and dog2. Both come from the same class, that is dog, but both have different data. Like first one has name body and age 3, second one has max age 5, right? Now what we are going to do is we are going to use this object data, whatever dog1 and dog2 we have used, created. We are going to use it. When I say use it, we are going to print it to see, right, what that particular object is printing. So what I'm going to do is, for first object dog1, I'm going to print name. For second object dog2 dot age, so what it should print is, for first it should print body, and then it should print 5, right? Each object is stored independently. That's an important note. Now the most important thing is, let's call the method. So dog1 dot bark, this is how we call it, dog2 dot bark, right? So before I run the program, comment me what will be the output, right? The output should be buddy says woof and Max says woof, right? So what we have done is we have used methods, which is functions inside a class. That is where we are defining the behavior. So let's see, right? See, buddy says woof, Max says woof, right? So now we know that class is nothing but let's say I type it here, something like that, easy way. Class is nothing but a blueprint, right? And object is actual instance. Attributes are nothing but data, that is name, age, and methods is nothing but the actions, that is in this case the dog was barking, right? That is how we explained it. And the best part is we can create unlimited objects from one class. So this concept it's pretty important and it's used everywhere, like in, let's say, in case of games, we have characters, we have enemies, right? In apps we have users, we have posts. In e-commerce we have products. So instead of messy repeated code, everything becomes structured and you can reuse it, right? Becomes easy to debug as well. So that's classes and objects in Python, which is simple, powerful, and essential. If you have understood this doc example, right, so you've already got the foundation of the OOPS programming. So I will see you in the next one. If you have any question, let me know. Thank you for your time.